Okay. Good morning, students. How are you? Okay. So you all don't smile because only my face is coming in this, no? So don't worry. So today we study geography. Last chapter, lifeline of national economy. Okay? Right. What do you mean by lifeline? Suppose if I ask you, as per you, what is your lifeline?
So it's the period then we live.
The period?
We are living.
Okay. Village, what is your lifeline in your life? Whom you think money is your lifeline? Very clear. You may say money is my lifeline. If I don't have money, I cannot have honey. Okay. So everything I do with money. Money is just nowadays in present situation, money is a lifeline. Like that only. For a nation, for an economy, for a country, what is lifeline? GDP, very good. Economy, right. To run that economy, what is the main? Okay. You all have come to school today. Okay. You have used various modes of transport, various means of transport to come here. Not mode means only. Mode means airways, roadways, waterways. All use roadways only, no? Don't use airways or waterways, no? Okay, very good. But different means of transport, like two-wheeler, four-wheeler, three-wheeler also used, yeah, auto, very good. Many of you have come by walk also, if your house is nearby near Vida and all, okay, or bicycle, okay. So, to come from one place to another place, again if you want to go back from here to your home, again you will use some transport, okay. So, again we see various activity around us, okay, various activities around us. Most of the activities are related to certain means of transport, okay. Now, so for an economy, transport and communication both are regarded as a lifeline of the economy, for a lifeline. Why? Because see, the growth, the development of a nation, of economy, mostly it depends upon the network or the system of the transport and communication. If a country, if a economy, it has very good network of transport and communication, then we may find faster rate of growth and development in that economy, in that country. Okay, how in this class we study, in this chapter we study how the transport and communication enables faster growth of development for economy. Okay, now we have various modes of transport like roadways, railways, airways, waterways, pipelines. Okay, various modes of transport we are having. Okay, among them the first and the foremost which we read today is roadways. Okay, roadways. It is a primary source or means of transport which is used from ancient time. Okay, when there was no metallic road, when there was unmetallic kacha road also, and when there is no like present vehicles, power driven vehicles, there were various other sorts of vehicles like bullock cart, bell gadi, tanga gadi, ghoda gadi, whatever may be, okay, by horse, by elephants, by camels. In ancient time people used to travel as a only, no, they used to use, but they require again roadway only, no, though in those times the roads were all kacha road and metallic roads. Okay, so roadways is the primary source or means of transport. Okay, now one question arises from your book. The first paragraph itself given about distinguish between roadways and railways. The question comes, what are the advantages of roadways over railways? Very important question for 3 to 5 marks. Otherwise, distinguish between railways and roadways. So see, we will discuss about this. See, Roadways are very cheaper and easy to construct when compared to the railways. Okay, the cost of construction of roadways is less when compared to the railways. Okay, second thing, roadways can be constructed in a hilly terrain, okay, plateaus, in desert areas, okay, mountain areas, but railways construction is very costly and in most of the places not possible. Okay, or it takes a lot of time, money, capital, everything. For example, you can see roadways on the hills and mountains also. Okay, see or not? But have you seen any time railway पहाड़ के ऊपर चढ़ रही है? We see tunnels through that goes. Imagine that everywhere we cannot construct the tunnel. Okay, in every mountain and hill we cannot make tunnel. Okay, so this is another difference we find. Next one is through roadways we can have door-to-door delivery. Door-to-door delivery is possible through roadways or not? Can you take your railways door-to-door? No, it is not possible. Okay, roadways is more flexible when compared to the railways. Okay, we can take the roadways from the place of production to the place of distribution. रोडवेज को हम लोग फील्ड में भी ले जा सकते हैं. कैन टेक रोडवेज टू आवर फील्ड. कैन टेक रेलवे टू फील्ड. ओके, नेक्स्ट, रोडवेज is very much comfortable and flexible for small duration, less people, perishable goods and all. Okay, for example, if 2 people want to travel, you can use 2-wheeler. 4 people, 5 people, you can use 4-wheeler car and all. But train, we require hundreds and thousands of people to go in that. Otherwise, waste of resource and all. Okay, perishable goods, vegetables, fruits, milk, all these things in short distance and all, we use roadways only. Okay, next, roadways connects every and all other modes of transport. If you want to go to railway station, we use roadways. If you want to go to airport, we use roadways. If you want to go to seaport, we use roadways. If you want to go to roadways only, we use roadways only. Bus station, if you want to go, use roadways only, no. So it connects all other means of transport. Okay, next, roadways is very flexible. It doesn't need particular timetable, okay, and place to halt or stop. For example, railways, there is particular timetable, okay, there is particular stoppage, okay, duration also how many, okay, but roadways we don't have particular. Some state transport corporation buses, state buses, they may have timing, but they also stops some places. Okay, so what happens, everywhere we cannot stop the railways, but roadways wherever we want we can stop, and it is not necessary like railway to follow the timetable. So these are the advantages of roadways over railways, or differentiation between the roadways and the railways. If the question comes differentiate, you can write 2 column roadways, opposite of that you can write in railways. If question comes what are the advantages of roadways over railways, then as it is given in your textbook you can write. Okay na? Understood? Next, among the roadways, the first one is golden quadrilateral or super highways. Golden quadrilateral or super highways. They are also known as 6-lane roads, not 4 lanes, 6 lane. Okay na? Mostly you find in this lane some different vehicles are given different lanes. Speed limits are also there in various lanes. Okay, that all is maintained in this 6 lane. The main purpose, the main aim of constructing and maintaining this 6 lane is to connect the capital city of India with the mega cities, that is metropolitan cities of India, that is Delhi to Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Jaipur, Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Chennai or Madras, okay, Kolkata, Hyderabad, okay, these metropolitan mega cities connecting them, okay, reducing the time gap between them, reducing the time, okay, this 6 lane is a there are various places in various states, these 6 lanes are there, over these 6 lanes, two-wheelers are not allowed. Two-wheelers are not allowed. No entry for the two-wheelers. Various places, two-wheelers are not allowed. No entry for two-wheelers. Okay. So to reduce the time gap between these all and to connect these mega cities. Okay. Next, the maintenance of these golden coordinators and all comes under central government. CPWD, Central Public Work Department, maintains and all. Okay, there is one organization known as NHAI, National Highway Authority of India. You may be seeing some vehicles, 4 lanes, and they will be running always. Okay, so their work is, this is one organization to construct the national highways and these golden corridors. Okay. Golden corridors are also part of national highways only, but special category is made, okay, to connect the mega cities. Next comes under national highways. We have various national highways in our country. Okay, national highways running from north to south, Jammu and Kashmir to Kanyakumari, east to west, from Porbandar in Gujarat till Silchar in Assam, the corners of these two, and north and south corners. Okay, and various states. National highways connects various states and capitals of various states. It is maintained by Central Public Works Department. In India, National Highway 7, NH7. NH7 is the longest national highway, Varanasi to Kanyakumari. Okay, in your book it is given. You can read later. Varanasi to Kanyakumari, very very important for objectives. Okay, na? Like NH8, Mumbai to Delhi. NH15, mostly in Rajasthan. Now you see, now Gorakhpur, two national highways connect, NH28 and 29. That is Gorakhpur to Lucknow and Gorakhpur to Varanasi. Okay, these two national highways we are having or not? Okay, so mostly national highways connects the various states, cities and state capitals. Important cities and state capitals. It runs through various important cities of particular state capital, city and other parts of the state. Okay, and like NH5 you take from Madras to Kolkata. Okay, next NH1 Delhi to Amritsar. It is also known as Sher-Shah Suri Road or GT Road, Grand Tank Road. Very very important. Okay, now NH1 national highways Delhi to Amritsar. Earlier it was till Kabul, Afghanistan. Okay, it was constructed by Sher-Shah, Mughal Emperor Sher-Shah. Okay, during those days from Delhi, Amritsar and Lahore, via Lahore and all, used to go to Kabul and all. But now within our country, it goes from Delhi to Amritsar. Amritsar is the border to Pakistan. Okay, there it goes. Just after Amritsar, next in Pakistan we have Lahore. Okay, next. National highways. After national highways, we have state highways. Okay, state highways connects various district headquarters within the state. Various district headquarters to the capital cities and other important towns like tehsils we have. Okay, na? It connects them. It is maintained by completely state government under Public Works Department. We have two: Central Public Works Department and one is State Public Works Department, PWD. Okay, this one portfolio, a ministry. Okay, like Nitin Gadkari is there, no? He is the Minister of Roadways and Shipping. Okay, so like that only state also will have Minister for PWD. Okay, so it is maintained and constructed by the state government. It connects most of the state cities and state headquarters, district headquarters and all. Next come Jilla Road, district roads, maintained by the Jilla Parishad. It connects the district to tehsils and various towns in that particular districts and all. it has very short length and all, not much length. Mostly it will diverge from the state highways and national highways. Okay. And up next one, the final one is other roads. In that we find village roads, town roads. Okay. Now we find roads between one village to other village. Between these villages, 2-3 villages, we have the roads connecting various villages. It's in the tehsil and all. You may be seeing when you are traveling certain places, you may find the board written Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. Okay, it is constructed under the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana fund. Okay, and within the village we find the roads, concrete road, cement road, and all that is maintained by under the Pradhan Sarpanch of the village. Okay, so these are the various means of road fees. Apart from this, we find one more type of road, that is Border Road Development Organization. It was established in the year 1960. 1960 Border Road Development Organization. Our country has many countries sharing boundaries, land and water boundaries. Okay, there are 7 countries which share land boundaries. Okay, like Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Bhutan, Nepal. Okay, these countries share boundary with our country because our country is a peninsular country, 3 side water, 1 side land. Okay, and longest boundary with our country is with Bangladesh, then China and Pakistan. Okay, and Nepal. With Bhutan and Myanmar, very less boundary we have, but mostly with Bangladesh, China, Nepal, and Pakistan, we have larger than everyone is with Bangladesh. Okay. Next, so to maintain the connectivity with the villages which are located in the border areas, okay, to provide various arms and ammunitions to the forces, defense, security personnel in the border who are deployed in the border areas. Okay, we need to have very good road connectivity in the border areas also. So for that purpose, in the year 1960, okay, Border Road Development Organization was established. Okay, and its main work is to maintain and construct the roads in the border area of the country, which linking with the state highways and the district or national highways. Okay. Next, like we have density of population. Density of population nothing but number of people living per square kilometer. Like that only have density of road network. Okay, means density of road network is taken per 100 square kilometer of area. How much road network is there? 100 square kilometer area. So our state, all the states in India are not equally developed, and all the states are not having equal geographical feature. Okay, na? We have different. There are certain states we have more mountains and valleys. There are states where deserts. There are states we are completely plain. So various features, geographical features we are finding in our various states. Like you take Jammu and Kashmir and very less network of roads. Like you find very high density in Kerala, Maharashtra and all. Okay. So the density of road network varies from state to state in our country. Okay. Now, in our country, we need to expand the network of the road. The reason is that in our country, the population of our country is increasing. Number of vehicles being registered every day, they are increasing. So the volume of the traffic on the road will be increasing. So to control the volume of the traffic on the road, we need to expand the road. We need to make the roads single lane to double lane to 4 lane, like that we are seeing. Now you may see various construction of roadways, expansion of roadways are going or not. Why? To monitor, to control the volume of the traffic, so that we can avoid certain unnecessary things like accidents and all on the road. If we have wider and good network of road and all, we can avoid accidents and all. We can have very smooth flow of traffic on the roads. Okay, so this was about the roadways. Any doubt in the roadways? No problem. You go home, you can read very carefully. You read. Any doubt, you may underline. In the next class, you can ask. Okay? Next comes the railways. See, railways in India is a gift by the Britishers. They introduced the railways in our country in the year 1853. Okay. The first railway in India, the ran from Mumbai to Thane, which covered 34 miles. Okay, in the year 1853, it took around 90 minutes to cover the distance. Okay, so then afterwards, okay, until now, the railways have been growing, expanding. Okay, now in our country we have 16 railway zones. 16 railway zones. There are 16 railway zones headquarters. Okay, Indian Railways are divided into 16 railway zones. Indian Railways are one of the largest public undertaking sector in the world. One of the largest. In India, it is the largest public sector. It gives employment to the maximum number or largest number of people in India work under Indian Railway. Okay, it is the highest employment generating sector. Apart from that, even it earns highest income also in India. Okay, we have various types of railway. Okay, we have goods train, we have passenger trains, we have tankers to supply petrol and diesel or other liquid things. Okay, so and almost each and every state in India except the few northeastern states, okay, like Tripura, Manipur, and Arunachal Pradesh, okay, few states, almost all the states in India, you can find road as a railway connectivity, and the places where there are no railway connection, in those also now they are getting expanded. Okay, now railways play very vital role in development of an economy because they carry huge and bulky goods and passengers both. Okay, see, in a truck or a lorry, how much goods you can carry, but in a train you can carry bulky goods or not. See, when you travel in a bus, you may see the cost of the ticket, and when you travel in a train, you see the cost of the ticket. Difference will be there or not? Because in the train the cost is less because it carries more number of people. So cost price comes down. Okay, so that is why it carries more huge and bulky goods, and cost is also less. Okay, so it is one of the like a very good income generating, or you can say it is like a development for a nation. So railways plays very important role in the development of an economy, and we have 16 railway zones in our country like Gorakhpur. Gorakhpur is the headquarter of Northeastern Railway. Gorakhpur is the headquarter of Northeastern Railway. Like that, various zones, the railways are divided for proper administration and smooth working. Okay, so we'll continue tomorrow. That's all for today. Take care.